Hello everyone, this is the Final Bosman, and on today's episode, with great power comes great video games. Welcome, true believers, to another amazing episode of the Final Bosman. I'm Kyle Bosman, and today I don't want to talk about The Order. Been getting a lot of requests to do an episode about The Order 1886. And its implications on gaming. Is gaming dead? Look at The Order. I don't have a lot to add to that conversation. Instead, I want to talk about Spider-Man. So specifically, Spider-Man for the PlayStation 1. I got this game recently. I was playing it, having a great time. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, looks like you're still showing The Order. Okay, cool. Got you. Yeah, so I played through Spider-Man. I was having a great time. And then, so I wanted to also play The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the next-gen version of Spider-Man. And honestly, yes, a lot of people don't like, oh, whoops. Okay, whoops. All right, whoops, this is The Order. I see, I get what you're doing. You're showing The Order. Let me be clear. I'm talking about Spider-Man today. I'm not doing The Order. All right? Today's episode, 3 things that I love about Spider-Man. Okay, who made that? Who even made this? Today's episode, 3 things I love about Spider-Man, the game for PlayStation 1. Number 1, Stan Lee. Stan Lee introduces each level of this video game. I'll shut up for a second. Just listen to what he does here.
Welcome, true believers and newcomers alike. Spider-Man co-creator Stan Lee here. Once again, we find our hero Peter Parker, better known around the world as the Amazing Spider-Man, in a heap of trouble. But this is just the beginning, Spidey fans. So get ready for a true superhero action thriller, packed to the brim with thrills and chills, twists and turns, more supervillains than you can shake a web at, and of course, non-stop web-slinging, wall-crawling action.
So that is flawless. That is just an insanely good way to start a video game. It gets me excited to play this game. Narration's cheap. Not in this case. In this case, it's using comic books into this mashing comic books into a video game in a very interesting way, using its energy. Stan Lee is also in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. He's there, but what he is a comic book store clerk. And in this comic book store, he sells comic books of Spider-Man. So anyone can just walk in, open this, oh, Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Who's this guy? Peter Parker. Okay, you're under arrest. Like, why would you, it's not even cute. When you put like, oh, look, there's Spider-Man comics in this world, you just ripped it apart. So I think Stan's narration is a great way to incorporate the comic book medium into a video game without being as literal as like using panels and spelling out your sound effects. It's good job, Codename Steam. You're a comic book game. No, Spider-Man is a comic book game. It's using its vibe. It's taking, oh, am I boring you? Is this boring for you? Is this, you want to see The Order so you don't like talking about PS1 games? Well, too bad. Number 2, Little Goblin Hiding Spot. So let me show you something that I really like about Spider-Man. We're in this level, right? We're getting chased by the police. And then you see this crane with pumpkin graffiti on it. And you're like, oh man, there's probably a secret in there. You go in and there's a hole in the top. There's not a hole in the top of any other cranes. So you drop into the hole and here we are. A little hobgoblin hideout. The internet thinks Green Goblin. We don't agree on this, but it's at least a goblin hideout. But look at this thing. Here's something you don't find in a lot of games these days. There are assets in here that aren't used anywhere else. Little pumpkin bombs. You won't find them anywhere else in the game. They were made just for this one tiny hiding spot. So what I love about this little area, there's no achievement for getting there. You don't have to go find that. You probably shouldn't. But it's a little tiny thing that makes this world mean more. In Amazing Spider-Man 2, if you're trying to represent the entire city of New York, you're gonna come up short. You're not gonna have a complete world. You're gonna have places of that world that just feel like a dumb fake video game. If you're more focused and you have these little tiny things that make the world feel like it exists without you, that it's real, that it's alive. And when a world is like that, it makes me care about the game. How dare you? You think that's funny or cool, or like I don't get why you're doing that at this point. The Order has a great world. There. Okay, I said something about The Order. Can we move on? This is about Spider-Man. I want to do an episode about Spider-Man. Please let me. Number 3. Spider-Man is Spider-Man. So, let me tell you about where I hard quit The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Let me tell you about the spot where I say, no more! Because, honestly, yes, this game did get dumped on, but I'm still having fun being Spider-Man. But there comes a point in this game where I said, no more. No more. And this is when Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, and Harry Osborn, they team up. They don't like each other, but they team up regardless. And they say, okay, we're creating a private military force to protect this city from any threats. And everyone is gonna ride a little Green Goblin glider. Sure. So then these people are around the city. They're just flying them around the same as you are as Spider-Man. These people will not hurt you as long as your hero meter is positive. And the way to make your meter go up is to do side missions on the map. So what'll happen is you'll see a little dot. Oh, there's a fire there. Go put out that fire, Spider-Man. If you don't make it there in time, your meter goes down. You're evil. Spider-Man didn't fix this burning building. He's evil. And if you only save 2 out of 3 people, if you don't get to all 3 people in time, you're evil. Spider-Man didn't save the last person. He's evil. Attack him, glider riders. Okay. Take that, Spider-Man, you evil little scumbag. And then, if you go stop some gang members down on that side of the street, they'll go like, oh, did you see what Spidey did? He's a good guy. Then they won't attack you anymore. You might say, Kyle, I can tell you're getting worked up. You're right, I am. Why does this bother you so much? That's clearly just a gameplay mechanic. What it does is it makes it a game where you're not playing as Spider-Man anymore. That's not what Spider-Man's about. He's not going into burning buildings to rescue people just so some glider riders won't hurt him. He's going in there to save people. When you create an incentive for being a hero, you destroy the entire meaning of what being a hero is all about. Let me tell you what I love about Spider-Man. There's one moment, and look, I know the story is silly and goofy. I know these cutscenes aren't great, but this part of the story really touches me for some reason. So what happens is Black Cat shows up. She says, Spidey, we got a problem. We got Venom and the Rhino. They're both causing chaos. And Spidey's like, what, is there a bad guy convention in town? I think that's his real line.
What is this, the bad guy Olympics?
And so she says, no. Here's what's going on. Venom has captured Mary Jane Parker. That's right, they're married at this point. And Rhino, he's just kind of bumbling about in some power plant. We don't know what he's doing. And Spider-Man has the courage to say, I will not go save my wife. I will go to the power plant because my wife is only one person.
Being Spider-Man has given me a lot and taken a lot away, but one thing never changes. My responsibility to use my powers for others before myself, no matter what the cost. There are innocent people at Omnitech and they need our help right now. I won't let them down. Then I'll stop Venom. And this time, it's for the last time.
That is pretty cool. That is not the decision I would have made, but it's the decision Spider-Man makes. And what is so interesting about that is that's what makes him a hero. That's what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. And so yes, it's also part of this video game. It's a decision that's robbed of you. And in a game today, maybe you'd be like, choose now. Who do you want to go fight? You want to go fight Venom? You want to go fight Rhino? Because Spider-Man is Spider-Man. Spider-Man is responsible. He's a hero. And so I see a lot of people complain about The Last of Us's ending. I know spoilers obviously, but let's just say you don't get to make a choice. It's not choose your own ending, The Last of Us. And that's prickly. It's like, well, it didn't play out the way I would have done it. Why not multiple endings? Because that is not the point of that game. The point of that game is watching Joel, this person who's very selfish in the beginning of this game, transform into this other person. We don't get to make that choice because we're not Joel, and I think it's effective because of that. That said, I'm not saying choices in video games are stupid. Saying that would be stupid. What I'm saying is that removing choices in video games can be a powerful decision. If you think about writing TV or movies, every new scene that you write should complicate or reveal new information about your conflict. Every new scene should have a purpose. right? And in an open world game like Amazing Spider-Man 2, that's incredibly hard to do. What we're doing is we're watching the story of a man who's grinding around pickups in a New York City, waiting to go to the inevitable danger. He knows there's danger in that building, but he'll get to it when he wants to. That's the story we're watching. And so yes, if you're cool with that, then it's cool. You know, last year, I played a bad superhero in Lego Marvel, and I loved it. So I don't mind being a bad superhero in Lego Marvel game. If you're cool, you're cool. However, in Spider-Man, every level leads to the next level. Right? Every action you take moves forward and moves Spider-Man forward. As I move forward into this video game, so does the story with it. And then so does the tension rise and my investment into this game. Even though it's linear, even though I'm not making decisions, I become more invested in this game than I would an open world Spider-Man game. Okay, see, I kind of, you know what? I think I walked into this one. This is almost a little relevant. Looks like you got me talking about the order. Okay, good job. You know what? You wanted to talk about the order so bad? Fine. I like it. I don't think I've ever felt like I've been on an airship before until this point, so that was pretty cool. It took me like 8 hours, I think, to play that game. QTEs didn't bug me so much. You know, they keep me on my toes. More so than like taking cover and shooting people, so you know, I don't mind that mix-up. I think the last 15 minutes, I think they are unmotivated and stupid and not fun. 9.3. Estimated value, I don't know, $105 US. That's the episode for this week. If you're on Twitter, you can find me at Kyle Bosman. I'll be back here next Wednesday. Hope to see you then, and Excelsior! Hi everybody. Earlier this week, word got out that I've been working on a Stan Lee voice. I've been trying to master it. It's tricky. Brandon Jones heard this. He said, "Oh, you have a Stan Lee voice. Well, it better be good, because I have a Stan Lee voice." And so you know I can't back down from a challenge. I slapped him with my white glove, and without further ado, everyone, the Stan Lee Off.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Stan Lee Off, the search for the best Stan Lee voice. Today our contestants will be none other than Brandon Jones and Kyle Bosman, and they will be quoting Shigeru Miyamoto. First up, Brandon Jones. How you feeling today, Brandon?
Feeling real good. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Let's hear some quotes.
All right, here we go.
A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad.
All right, pretty convincing. Next up, Kyle Bosman. How you feeling, Kyle?
Try not to be nervous, try to be cool, try to do my thing, just trying to be out there.
All right, let's hear some quotes.
Video games are bad for you. That's what they said about rock and roll. Is that good?
All right, next up, it's going to be Brandon Jones again. This is a 3-quote from Miyamoto. Here's number 2.
I try not so much to create new characters, but worlds to create new gameplay experiences.
All right, getting a little gruff in there. I like it. Next up, Kyle Bosman, round 2.
Cats are interesting. They are kind of like girls. If they come and talk to you, it's great. But if you try to talk to them, it doesn't always go so well.
All right, the older Stanley. Here we go, the final round. Brandon Jones, finale. Let's do it.
Players are artists who create their own reality within the game.
All right, private investigator Stanley. And lastly, round 3, Kyle. Here we go. Make it count.
Japanese people have a funny habit of abbreviating names. Excelsior!
Excellent catchphrase right there. All right. Fearless performance from the contestants. Brandon Jones, Kyle Bosman. It is now entirely up to you, viewers. For Brandon Jones, text 1 to EBDB, and for Kyle Bosman, text 2 to Booby Dooby. Standard rates apply. Have a good night, everyone.